चौधरी Fitness
Vishwadeep.
Vishwajit.
Vishwajit. Okay.
Chaudhary.
Next.
Ma'am Arnesh.
Arnesh. Next.
Chaudhary Fitness Ahmed, roll number 40.
Ruturaj Singh, 49 roll number.
And Shinatsu Mehra.
After that you.
Ruturaj Singh, 49.
Next.
Shinatsu Mehra.
Raj. Okay. Now go ahead.
So today we are here to give a presentation on our topic, the 2019 pandemic, and these are the content in which we will proceed. Now in this way we are going to dive into one of the.
Just a second, Vishwajit. Just a second. कौन है? Stop. कौन बात कर रहा है? अमरीश. इधर गर्ल्स में अक्षिता और ये जिसको मैंने बोला था वो देख रही है। अरे मुझे आवाज कैसे आ रही है? सामने नहीं, पूरा रो पे आपको नजर रखनी है, तगड़ी वाली, अच्छी वाली।
Now coming to the introduction, we are going to dive into one of the most defining global event of recent, or we can say in the modern history, the COVID pandemic. We will know about the lessons that we have learned from the pandemic, how we'll make sure that we will be prepared for the future. Now the COVID pandemic is one of the most defining global health crises in the modern history. And the COVID-19 mostly caused by the coronavirus, which has been emerged from the Wuhan in China in late 2019 and spread all over the world, causing millions of deaths, hospitalization, ill health. And this also led to WHO, World Health Organization, to declare it as a health emergency and international concern for every country by the January 30, 2020. January 30, 2020. Now coming to the statistics, as per the report till today, there are about 704 million of cases which has been registered, and apart from that, there are 7 million of deaths which has been caused. And coming to the statistics of India only, there are 44 million of cases which has been registered, and from that 5 lakhs people have been died. So by the end of 2020, the cases were soaring high, and Europe became the epicenter of the corona pandemic. And there are also multiple waves that has arisen due to the various factors such as the Omicron and Delta variant, which were the most dangerous, and the significant were the vaccine at that time for controlling that waves. There were certain steps taken by the government, and vaccines were also developed, due to which till today the report has been suggested that from 2021 to 2025 the cases have significantly reduced, and due to all the steps and steps taken by the government and the vaccines which have been developed by the scientists. So
now I will discuss about the transmission symptoms and tests required for identification of COVID. So first we will dive into the transmission. As we all know that the SARS-CoV-2 virus is generally transmitted through air, more specifically the droplets that we sneeze out or cough out. Those droplets go into the lungs of other person and affect the lungs of that person, causing the spread of virus. There are different types of transmissions. The first one is human-to-human transmission. It is the basic way of transmission in which a virus is directly transmitted from one human to another human. The second type of transmission is global tourism. That was the main cause why the virus spread throughout the world, as people from Wuhan, China started migrating to other countries or for tourism purposes or for the safety of their life. So the virus spread very much through that way, as those people who were contaminated with the virus went to other places and contaminated other people. So now we will dive into the symptoms of COVID virus. So the symptoms are divided basically into two classifications. First one was mild or moderate symptoms, in which it included fever, sore throat, cold, cough, dry cough, and mucus secretion. And in the severe symptoms, It included the blue lips and breathlessness and chest pain, etc. Now the test required to identify that it was which type of COVID virus. The test included PCR test or molecular test, which is based on the principle of polymerase chain reaction, specifically reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction, in which polymer chains were identified by use of the polymer chains of the RNA of the virus was identified, antigen or rapid test and antibody test. Now I will fill those to continue the mechanism. So I will discuss about the mechanism and vaccination process. So to understand the mechanism, we move on to the next slide. So as Ramesh said that the COVID virus actually enters the transmission through droplets, through the nose or through the mouth, mainly affecting the respiratory tract. And further, the COVID virus, when it enters the body, it binds to the ACE2 receptors, which is present on the cells of the lungs. Primarily, the point is to be noted that the receptors are also present in heart as well as kidney, but it primarily affects to the lungs. So after binding of the viral particle with the cell receptor, it starts releasing the viral genome, which is single stranded RNA, to the host infected cell. Now the host infected cell, its genome has been modified, so it starts releasing viral particles, which further destroy the other healthy cells, neighboring cells, and in this way the infection is caused. Now I will discuss about the vaccination process, which is the previous slide. So the vaccination process is a whole global contribution, and it can be majorly classified into two aspects. Majorly classified into two. There is identification of the target, that the spike protein of the virus, which is SARS-CoV-2 virus, and then we have the laboratory and clinical testing of the vaccines. Then phase 1 trials undergoes upon a small group of individuals for safety purpose. Then phase 2 trials is done, followed by phase 2 trials, which is done on hundreds of people, and after that, thirdly, the phase 3 trials are done upon thousands of individual volunteers. Then, after passing all these tests, then it is been given to the emergency use authorization committee, where they approve for fast track approvals for public use. Now I will hand it over to Ruturaj for the next.
Okay, so now we will talk about the global and financial crisis we faced during the pandemic. So as we know, COVID-19 triggered one of the worst economic crises throughout the world in the history of mankind. So we came across worldwide lockdowns and supply chain disruptions, and which led to many severe downturns and financial instability. So first point of is global economic impact, recession and GDP decline. So the world GDP near about decreased up to 3.4%, which is the worst after the Great Depression. And then unemployment and job losses. Millions of jobs were lost due to the closure of businesses throughout the world, particularly tourism and hospitalities, manufacturing, etc. Then small business closures. Many small and medium-sized businesses closed down due to the lack of financial supports and revenue losses. Now, financial market crash and instabilities. So now stock markets newly reduced a lot in early 2020s due to the pandemic, and then after that we have supply chain disruptions. So as we know, there are many big countries and developed countries which import to various developing countries. So due to the closure of the industries and factories, those countries are also affected. Now oil price and energy crisis. So as we all are locked in our houses, all people stop traveling to their destinations. So the oil prices gradually decreased, which faced crisis on energy and oil. So I would like to invite Sudhanshu for the next slide.
How do we fought back against
is this COVID-19 pandemic. That is, after the decade, the COVID-19 pandemic causes massive disruptions in businesses and in economics and in our education system. Like Mitra said, so in our daily life also we face the same problems. And however, the government, scientists, businesses, and individual work together, and we fight against the crisis through healthcare and advancements, economic policies, and global operations. So, the COVID-19 pandemic exposed vulnerabilities in global health systems and economics. To prevent future pandemics, the world must adapt stronger surveillance, better healthcare infrastructures, and the global cooperation and scientific advancement. So, in the conclusion, I have to say that the COVID-19 pandemic was a global challenge that tested our resilience, but it also showcased the power of science, innovations, and unity. By learning from the past, and strengthening our preparedness, we can build a healthier, more resilient world, ensuring that the future pandemics are met with swift and effective response. That's all. Thank you.